If you're part of the Goth or another alternative community like me, then you will have heard of Killstar. It's a large business that produces Gothic and alternative style clothing by mass, and is one of the largest contributors to the gentrification of subcultures and the erasure of values behind them. It's been a starting point for a lot of baby bats, and with the range of style choices they offer, but with the price tag attached to it, it's too high for the polyester they sell. Brands like Killstar bring new people into a falsified view of a subculture and removes the true value of DIY and the true moral values behind the movement by creating competition between these people to see who can spend the most on their clothes and not who stands for the inclusive values brought up by the punk subculture. The clothing produced by Killstar is mainly made of polyester or similar plastic and fossil fuel made fabrics that negatively contribute to the environment. And these kinds of materials are way harder to recycle in general, which means it can't have a healthy life cycle from being made to being reused and to create new clothing in the future. So many of these clothes are insanely overpriced, with most clothes ranging from £60 to £80 upwards, with a million and one washing conditions that state you cannot tumble dry or have the clothes in any heat, or else they'll be destroyed with the slightest misdirection of you following the instructions they made, which leaves the blame on the consumer and not the company in the end. A lot of these clothing items, though, are just mass-produced, which means Killstar is a fast fashion brand in modern terms, and they're masquerading as an alternative clothing outlet for subcultures, whilst they're commodifying the fashion aspect of Gothic subculture and going completely against the values set out by the punk movements. The Gothic subculture comes from the punk movement of the early 1970s, and the values include going against capitalism and equality for all, which Killstar definitely doesn't fit into whatsoever, as they're a massive business that prides itself on hiding their supposed ethics and promoting overconsumption with their influencer hauls worth hundreds of pounds on TikTok and all of their social media platforms. Killstar generally claims to be sustainable with their practices, but with help from this analysis stats on the website Good On You, we can see that they completely lie about their eco-friendly promises. A lot of the details of the eco-friendly practices are hidden, besides a small mention of their link to the Eden Project that has a reforestation project. And I found it quite funny that when I tried to click onto the learn more on their website, it didn't send me anywhere. It was just an image. And there was not a single link on the entire page on Killstar, so I had to go to the website myself, off of the Killstar website. But with further research and looking at the Eden Project itself, Killstar wasn't in the 1 million donators, or the 100k donators, or even the $200 donators, because they were nowhere to be found in any of these small to large scale donation pools, despite the fact it's on their website so proudly, and they are supposedly supporting this organization. Generally, lying about contributions to a charity is highly frowned upon, and just because it's Killstar doesn't mean they get a free pass either. If you aren't aware what the Modern Slavery Act is, it's a piece of legislation that is usually found as a statement on a business's page, especially large-scale ones like Killstar, to say that they don't practice human trafficking and unethical work practices like underpaying employees and forced labor practices as well. Killstar doesn't have a Modern Slavery Act statement on their website though, and legally they should be obligated to do so, as they supply goods and they also carry out business within the UK, since they do sell all of their items to the UK and within these spaces. The lack of transparency is worrying, and the materials that they're using to create their clothing exposes their poor workers to microplastics, and we can't even tell what the factory conditions are like because of the vacant disclosure of their practices and the conditions of their factories across the world. I do want to say, as a kind of ending note, if you buy secondhand items that happen to be from these companies, as long as you're buying it not directly from them, say you're finding it on Vinted or eBay, as long as you're not directly contributing, giving your money to these companies, it's not a bad thing. I thrift things all the time, and half of my wardrobe is thrifted. You save so much money, and the thing is, you'll find loads of cute clothes from these brands. It's not illegal to like the clothes. As I said, as long as you're not directly contributing to them creating more fast fashion, that's the end goal. It was really interesting researching this company, having been in the community for a few years now. And your subscription to my channel makes me want to do even more videos of these, and it pushes me to talk about my hobbies and my interests a lot more. So a simple follow means the absolute world to me. But thank you so much for viewing the video and checking it out. There's a few other videos like my history of trinkets in the past that I've done recently, so you can definitely check that out. Bye!